Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wellness Wednesday. It is Wellness Wednesday, Jennifer Yon Agency, and it's a lifetime success. Today, I am joined by DeLisa Bonaparte. DeLisa is with Free to Be Green. I know you all are wondering what is Free to Be Green, so DeLisa is going to share with us all about it. First of all, thank you so much, DeLisa, for joining us and sharing with us one of the passions that you have to assist others in having a complete health.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate the invitation to join your wonderful company. So I really appreciate being your guest today.
Yes. So, every Wednesday for this month, we have been talking mental health and sharing information with individuals to help them have a stronger mental health or just have outlets in which they can go to if they need assistance. Could you tell us a little bit about your company, Free to Be Green, and how it relates to mental health?
Yes, absolutely. So Free to Be Green, we started a few years ago as the state of Florida had passed the ability for patients or people who felt that they had a medical condition to take cannabis for their symptoms. And one of the symptoms listed on the Florida registry is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So I've been waiting for this for a very long time. And once we got the go ahead to actually have the facility and the ability to assist patients, we started with evaluating them mostly for PTSD because my company, Patricia's Rock, is a mental health company that started this, which we kind of verged off into Free to Be Green, helps mental health patients. So when the state had passed in 2017 in January, we started seeing patients specifically for mental health issues to get them qualified so they can take the cannabis for their condition.
And when you say cannabis, could you share with us the difference between medical cannabis and, just recreational cannabis?
Yeah, so there is a difference. So here in Florida, they refer to it as medical marijuana or medical cannabis. And that is people who have a medical or mental health condition want to take the cannabis for medical reasons. Recreational is recreational. You don't have any type of medical condition, you just want to take it for your own pleasure, like the West Coast or Colorado, where they have recreational, but Florida does not. So the huge difference is also significant. When you go to the dispensary, the cannabis is made differently now. So it has elements of different types of ailments that the cannabis, when it's grown, can help specifically. Whereas recreational, we have the different types of strains, indica, hybrid, or sativa, but really you're just taking it because you want to. Whereas the medical cannabis or the medical marijuana, when you do get the medication, it's grown specifically for that ailment that you have, which is really great because you can get very specific about taking it for a specific symptom.
What are some of the symptoms that you've seen individuals approved for the medical marijuana that comes through your office?
Lots. The most popular is post-traumatic stress disorder. That is the most popular. A little side note, we also affiliated with a veteran group, and all of their patients have been served in the military, are wonderful people, and they have PTSD. So that's the most specific one that we receive. The second one would be chronic non-malignant pain. For whatever reason, people have pain, and that's the number two, or it's tied with post-traumatic stress disorder. They're really top 1 and 2.
Wow. The benefits of patients coming to you to help them get their medical marijuana card, what would you say the benefits are?
Oh, the benefits are astronomical. The benefits for that would be that, for one, our logo is "We Get You Legal." So that way, when you do have the cannabis, you can carry it around in your car. Aside from the health issues, we'll just say that's a given, right? So, helping, I've seen lots of people get assisted where their health issues are totally um, uh, improved and they don't deal with that anymore, or there's a significant decrease in them taking the opioids and having the side effects of that, or there's a decrease in them taking the cannabis and their symptom is not as significant as it was before they started to take the cannabis. And then aside from that, feeling better and also eliminating the primary symptom, it also assists with other symptoms that you may be suffering from that wasn't significant. So we'll have a patient that has, we'll say, chronic pain, but they also have maybe PTSD, or we've seen our cancer patients that have been diagnosed with cancer and they've taken it, and then the symptoms work so well that the efficacy of the cannabis totally increases the type of lifestyle that the patient will have with that may have cannabis. I mean, that may have cancer. And then there's some other elements where cannabis is it affects everything. I mean, so once they take it for one symptom, they may have something else where it will be efficient for them taking that as well.
Wow. This is Wellness Wednesday. We're talking with DeLisa Bonaparte on medical marijuana. Green can assist you in understanding the benefits as well as the process in getting approved to have your medical marijuana card. Could you tell us a little bit about this process and what a person can expect if they may have some of the symptoms that you've talked about?
Yeah, so the process is pretty easy. The state of Florida, and we want to say thank you to them, is they allow a patient to come to see a doctor or a medical doctor or a DO. So only specific doctors are allowed to approve it. And all they need to do is just pretty much the doctor will interview them. The doctors have their own type of protocol that they will ask the patients, like bring your medical records from the last 3 years, or if the patient doesn't have medical records or they've not had any insurance, some doctors will say, well, yeah, like COVID, right? A lot of people lost their jobs and some people can't afford COBRA. So they're going to be without insurance. So some doctors will say, you know what, we'll just do the in total evaluation. Don't bring your records. You tell me your story. What's going on? They interview the patient. The patient, we hope, was honest. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the process, the doctor will say, absolutely, I've diagnosed you with cancer or PTSD. I do recommend that you take the cannabis. So then after that point, the patient will, the doctor goes online, documents everything and answers some questions that may be required for them to have the patient in the registry. Then the patient pays the doctor his or her fee, and the state charges $77.25. You pay that online, and then within, I hear, about 10 to 12 days, the patient will get a cannabis card with their picture and some information, an ID number, and then they can take that card and go to the dispensary to purchase. It's once a year, so the card is only good for a year.
Okay. And going into a dispensary, let's just say if they have that card, now they've seen a doctor, that card was issued, and dispensary, what can they expect from there? Do they have to be knowledgeable about the different strands, or how would they even know what to pick up out of the dispensary?
That's a great question. So one of the things we found when we first started with Free to Be Green and we're helping our patients, we had some patients that would go to the dispensary and they end up spending $300, $400 in one visit, something they couldn't afford, and they got everything. And we found out that some of the strains did not work for their symptoms. And I'm not sure if it was lack of education or they were anxious or they didn't know. But a lot of our patients have no idea. So what we do is we go with them for their very first visit. We do charge a fee, but we go with them to the dispensary. So that way they'll be educated. The person that's with them is well educated and can recommend, well, guess this patient has neuropathy. That's like really serious nerve pain, nerve damage. And so they won't need a low dosage. So we make sure that, you know, I know you go low, go slow, but in some cases, if you have neuropathy or something extreme, you've been suffering for years, we kind of guide that and make sure, well, no, let's not go low, because first of all, you're low on income. And why are you going to get a 300 or 100 when I know for sure increasing it this one time so you don't have to come back and then you don't get a refund? We suggest that you increase the dosage, and we'll tell the person the technology at the dispensary. And then we'll also talk about their ailments. And then we'll also try to limit the fact of how much they spend out of pocket. We always say, get one or two. After that, if you want to buy more, go ahead, but you don't need to buy the whole store. And we do consultation. Okay. So we help them when we're there at the dispensary with them.
Is it just for smoking? Is there any other forms? If a person says, hey, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to inhale anything, is there other ways that they could get the same strains, they could get that relief without actually smoking?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Great question. So depending on the type of dispensary that you go to, so we all, just so if your listeners know, cannabis is not regulated. It's not federally approved. So all dispensaries choose to make their products differently. Some have vape, some don't. Some have smoking, some don't. Some have oil, tincture, edibles. So it depends on, it's like shopping at Walmart and Publix, right? So if you want a loaf of bread, you can get a loaf of bread at Walmart and Publix, but then we're talking about different brands, right? So it's sort of like going to the dispensary. They choose what they want to make, what they want to offer. So there are several dispensaries here in Orlando, but they all don't have exactly the same product or the same type of product that patients can get. If someone doesn't want to smoke, that's great. They let us know. So we have some patients that work. Some work in pretty high profile jobs, and they can't. So we recommend that they take something with more with CBD, very little THC, or educate them about smoking is not the only thing. And the medicine works just as fine. It's a preference for the patient. They just got to test it out to see which product works best for them if they don't want to smoke.
Wow, that's a lot of great information. It is Wellness Wednesday. We're talking with DeLisa Bonaparte. We're talking about medical marijuana, the benefits of it, the process of getting the card, and how it may be able to help you deal with what you're going through personally. If a person is interested in talking more with you, DeLisa, and getting more information, how do they contact you? What do they do to say, okay, I'm ready to get started?
Yeah, so we have various ways to contact. They can give me a call on my cell phone. They can go to our website, which is www.freetobegreen.com, or they can go to Patricia's Rock, www.patriciasrock.org, and go to contact and send us an email, and we'll reach out through that way as well. So we have, I think, two different ways, either call me, or they can go to our website and have a contact, and then someone will reach out to them and they'll set an appointment or answer any questions that they have.
Is there any specific you deal with? Like, do they need to live in a certain county, or what is that requirement if a person is watching in Seminole County or versus Orange County?
Right. So the state of Florida is very generous with once a person gets approved for that with their medical marijuana card, they can go the entire state. Only thing they have to do is they have to show that they are a Florida resident. So some important key things here. They have to have a Florida driver's license or a Florida ID. It has to be active. Your ID cannot be terminated, or it can't be expired. Because the Florida registry now, they have a link to the DMV. So when they upload the information, they're going to check and say like, okay, this is a Florida driver's license. Why does the DMV have a different address than what the patient put on their driver's license now? Or they'll fill out a different address. So they will get denied. And then probably when you call, they'll say, well, we had an issue. The DMV has a different address than you have on your driver's license. And so many people don't know this, but in the DMV handbook for drivers, when you, the driver's Department of Motor Vehicle handbook, with the driver's, what's it called? The driver's education booklet where you read all of the chapters to pass your test. There is a section in there that tells you if you move within 30 days, you have to go to the DMV. That's mandatory. So your address always has to be current and accurate. And it's very important because the Florida registry will not approve it if they find that your address doesn't match what's within the DMV. So that's proof of address is very important, and it has to be active and current. And then the patient can go anywhere. They can go from Tallahassee all the way through Jacksonville, Miami, wherever. So it's unlike the regular pharmacy, where you're married. Like if you go to Walgreens, you have to go to that Walgreens all the time until you switch over. But with the state of Florida, say like you want to go to a dispensary, you like that they have tincture. But there's another dispensary in Kissimmee that you like what they make as far as maybe edibles. You can go to both of them in the same day. The only thing is just don't go over the milligrams that the doctor has approved for you. And you'll know that you'll go into the website and you'll look and you'll see. So that's all. You don't go over the dosage that the doctor has approved. And if you stay under that, you can go to all 5 or 10 or 12 dispensaries in different cities, different areas of the state.
Okay. So you mentioned that the cost for Florida for their license is around a little under $80. Yes. And that's a once a year payment to have their medical marijuana license. What is typically the cost to see the doctor? How does that process go? Is it insurance or is it a cash pay?
Yeah, so unfortunately, Jennifer, being that it's federally not approved yet nowhere in the United States, we're unlike Canada, where in the United States from West Coast to East Coast, no state federally has been allowed to have anyone to receive the cannabis. So our former president, Barack Obama, before he left, he allowed each state to choose if they wanted to vote or not. So Florida was one of those states. So when you go to the dispensary to get your medicine, you pay the $77.25 for the usage of that. And they make that very clear.
Okay.
So Florida is not really, as long as you pay the $77, it lasts, the card is going to be active for 1 year. Then you'll just go and you have to stay in the state. You cannot travel the next closest state, which I think is Georgia. We have a lot of patients that drive, or they may go on a cruise and they bring their medicine with them. That might not be a good idea because we also have a relationship with Florida Highway Patrol and the local police department. They come in and they educate our patients because a lot of them are afraid. And they tell us you cannot transfer that or travel with that in another state. You cannot take it on the cruise with you. It stays here in Florida. So it's not transferable with you because when you go to another state, Georgia for sure, I know, they don't have cannabis. They only have CBD. So if you get stopped for speeding and they happen to notice that's in your car, gosh, a whole lot of things could happen. You could lose the access to the medicine, get arrested, pay a fine, because now it's sort of like you're trafficking from Florida to Georgia with this legal medicine in Florida, but illegal in Georgia and other states as well.
Wow. Very interesting. It is Wellness Wednesday. We're talking with DeLisa Bonaparte with Free to Be Green. You see the website at the bottom of the screen, and you just want to have a conversation. You can again where they reach out to you. DeLisa,
Hello?
if
Hi, sorry, I lost you for a minute, I think.
they are interested in Wednesday, and if you're tuning in, we're talking to DeLisa with free to their information is at the bottom of the screen. Her company is a company that can help you obtain your medical marijuana license.
Hello? Hi.
Let's see here.
Hello?
Though, for DeLisa,
Okay, hi.
if you are interested and you need some assistance with obtaining your medical marijuana card, she is the person. That's good. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me? I see you, but you're kind of fading in and out.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Listen, this is the crazy thing with these internet connections.
Hello?
We
Oh, there you
apologize.
are.
Yes, yes.
I was like, you're frozen. I didn't know what to do. Sorry.
It has been a crazy day with internet here today. I don't know. Maybe you don't want us to share.
No, right? They look at me like I'm I don't know, illegal provider, and they don't want us to give our information for the patient. So possibly that's something why the internet's not working. But I didn't answer your question. So the price for the doctors, it varies. So the Florida statute does not state a specific price the doctor can charge.
Okay.
So there are some doctors that charge 150, 180, 190, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. Some doctors charge every month. So it all depends on which doctor that you visit, because the fee that the doctor charges is not regulated.
Wow. So under Free to Be Green, do you have doctors under your practice?
Right. So I hire the doctors myself. So they work for me. It was very difficult in the beginning. So a little funny story was I had it back in December of 2016. I knew that we were going to change, we were going to go for medicinal cannabis. So I was already telling my patients, oh, yeah, we're going to, come to see me. We're going to see you for the medical marijuana. We'll get you approved. And then not one single doctor in Florida wanted to approve patients for cannabis. So I was so desperate. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So my brother has suggested, he said, you know what to do. You think outside the box. So I said, oh my gosh. He said, you know 2 people. I said, I do. He said, yes, Snoop Dogg and Master P. I called Snoop and I called Master P. Master P called me back the same day. And he said, because I know he grows cannabis as well as Snoop. And Master P called me. He said, hey, what do you need? I said, I need a doctor. I have about 80 people that have promised. They're angry at me. They're going to beat me up. And I need a doctor that can do the cannabis for me. He said, I got you. I'm going to have a doctor call you by the end of the day. A doctor that works for Master P called me. And he said, I'm going to come to your office and we're not going to leave until we see everybody. So that was the beginning of that. And he came for a very long time. We stayed until 10:30 that night. And everyone was seen and, we started the process. Yeah, so all the doctors that are with me, they're under my company, and they see that they'll see the patient. Oh, I think I lost her again. She's gone. I think I lost you, Jennifer. You're frozen. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I just see you're frozen. I guess I should sing that song from Frozen. I'm just kidding. Oh, gosh, she disappeared. Oh, Jennifer. Come back. Come back. Hi, I missed you. Listen, I was singing and everything. No, just kidding.
We may just have to do this interview again, but we are going to close out today. It is Wellness Wednesday. DeLisa, give us your phone number before we close out.
Oh, yes, absolutely. 904-566-1975. 904-566-1975.
It has been a Wellness Wednesday with Patricia's Rock, Free to Be Green. Go ahead and visit their website. You can contact her directly through the website, as well as calling her directly on the phone. She has not only the resources, but the education and the passion and care to help you get qualified for your medical marijuana license and to help you end some of the suffering that you may be going through, that the product alone can help you with. Any last words, DeLisa, before we end today?
Two things. One is I would like to have the people who are interested to do your homework. When you meet with the doctor, ask some questions. It's not cheap. So, ask some questions. How much is your fee? What time frame? You'll report me to the registry. How often do I need to come into the office? Every 7 months is the longest. You can don't need to see the doctor. And then some doctors want you to come in every 30 days. So that's very important. And then the second thing is we're doing lots of new things. We actually have yoga and cannabis where they can come into the office and smoke their flower or their vape and do yoga. Yoga works really well as thousands of years previously. We have cooking classes with cannabis. And we also help them make edibles and other cool and neat things like bath bombs and things like that. So we kind of help everybody with different services that we offer additionally.
Awesome. Again, she can be reached at freetobegreen.com. Share this video, tag a friend, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We apologize for all of the unstableness with our Wi-Fi connection today. This video, however, will still be shared and tagged with her contact information in it. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sticking out with us throughout the unstable internet this afternoon. I will see you next time. It's been an awesome Wellness Wednesday with you, DeLisa. Thank you so much for joining us and educating our audience on the benefits of medical marijuana.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so very much. Thank you to IBA Success. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.